Well, good morning. It's your buddy Ryan here, joining you in the greenhouse in the Moondance Homestead. It is a chilly 35 degrees outside this morning, but warming up. In the greenhouse, we're looking at 76, and we can see our solar vent is getting ready to get going here as the angle of the sun changes, and our automatic roof vent is already opening up. But I just wanted to give you just a quick look at a quick little update what's going on here in the greenhouse. Things are really coming along. I have potted up my tomato and tomatillo plants, so we'll just go through and kind of show you what I got. I got a San Marzano paste tomato. I really love these for making, pasta sauces, chili, curry, those kinds of things. Anything you need a paste tomato for, they're amazing. Actually, this is a sweetie tomato. This is I've saved my own seeds over the years, so I've kind of been developing my own strain that'll grow in our dry, windy environment here. This kind does really well, gives us nice high yields. One thing I like about these little sweetie tomatoes is I actually use them as a paste tomato too. Reason being, I don't have to cut them at all. I just throw them straight in the pot, cook, and away you go. And it gives a nice zip, a little bit of tanginess to it. So I try to use more than just the paste tomatoes when I'm cooking with paste tomatoes. Here's just a regular tomatillo. Last year I had one get really big and sprawling, and I just learned that you got to have other tomatillos close by. So I did have a few others around the property, but not close enough to pollinate it. So we have several this year. Another San Marzano, another tomatillo number 3. This is a yellow pear tomato. It's a new one for me to try. I've never grown it before. I have a mix of heirloom tomato seed packets that I've been kind of working through over the years. So I usually trial one kind of tomato a year in addition to my mainstays, the sweeties and the San Marzanos. More tomatillo. You can see all my peppers here. See, I have a blend of salsa peppers, so it's just random peppers that'll come up. So I do a lot of things as, random varieties and mixed packs in my garden. I don't really care if everything's uniform because it's all for me. So I'm not, trying to, pick 100 uniform rows of hatch peppers. I'm okay if one's a Hungarian wax and, one's a peri pepper or whatever. On that note, I do have some bird's eye pepper here. That's a African varietal, also known as peri pepper. I grew them last summer. They do really well here. The flavor's phenomenal. For hot sauces, if you make hot sauce, I really recommend trying some bird's eye pepper. This is a ground cherry. This is the one that's doing the best. It's related to a tomatillo. You can see I have more of them. It's a German variety. And these ground cherries will grow a little fruit with a husk, probably the size of a larger marble, and it'll taste a lot like pineapple or mango, passion fruit. Like, it has a very tropical flavor, and it grows in the same growth pattern as a tomatillo. So maybe it sprawls on the ground a little bit more, but you just wait for the berries to fall off, and they're delicious. I'm surprised everyone doesn't grow these in their gardens because most fruits take multiple years. This one, you can just plant, right, in one season, and you have fruit to eat. So I guess the pioneers back in the day actually used to plant these when they were starting up their homestead to eat in the interim until their cherries and their apples and their plums started producing. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm planting a bunch of these, dedicating a whole raised bed to just ground cherries. And we'll see how they do. They were really good last year. The family liked them, so I'm expanding this year. So yeah, some lemon balm. Some of it's struggling a little bit. Some of it's doing well. Not much to say about that. I really like lemon balm. I think maybe this bigger plant in the corner will establish for me, and I can get it set up outside under a tree. I have lots of oca or aca and aluco. I don't blame you if you don't know what that is. It's really obscure Andean root crop. You should really look it up, though. It's they're very colorful, shades of neon pink or green or blue or purple, whatever. And so I'm just using these to supplement our potatoes because I haven't really found a root crop that does here that I'm in love with. You know, beets will do good. Turnips will do good. I really have tried turnips every way, and I'm not a fan of them. Beets, I like pickled beets, but you know, I don't like to put them in many other dishes because I find them overpowering. So, you know, maybe these will be a good mainstay other than just potatoes and onions for us. So we've got our sage and oregano through here. My thyme is coming up. The mint is doing well. I can't wait to put that in bigger pots and then put it outside eventually. New Zealand spinach is doing quite well. For those of you who are not familiar with New Zealand spinach, it is a plant that loves the hot midsummer weather. So if you like cooking greens that are kind of delicate and soft like spinach, you know, I would really recommend some New Zealand spinach. It also grows exceptionally well in salty soils, and that's the whole reason I'm growing it. That's because I have 2 raised beds that are salted due to the previous owners using softened water on them for a number of years. So I'm using New Zealand spinach and a few other oceanside varieties to remediate that soil. So effectively, these suck up the salt into their leaves. I harvest the leaves, and that removes the salt slowly from the bed over years. But yeah, great midsummer green. You can harvest it over and over again, and it comes back in the hot height of summer. If you're keeping it moist, within about a day, it'll regenerate every time you cut it. I'm not even kidding. So we had more of it than we knew what to do with last year. Broccoli, some Leciano kale, more thyme, a cabbage, thyme. These are all miner's lettuce. I really, really like miner's lettuce as a springtime green. You could have it as a salad. It's got phenomenal flavor. Some people also call it miner's spinach. You can actually use it to replace spinach. So between my miner's spinach and my New Zealand spinach, I don't really grow normal spinach all that often because I feel like it's a lot of effort for very little payoff in our environment. Miner's spinach and New Zealand spinach do so much better consistently, whereas a spinach plant I'll get a few leaves off of, and yeah, sometimes they'll even do really well, but there's such a short window before it gets hot here that it's sort of pointless. So I bridge the gap with the minor spinach and the New Zealand spinach. In the back here, you can see more cabbage, a dinosaur kale, collards. Here's a Russian kale, more dinosaur kale. You can see I went with a Brontosaurus on this one. Collards, cabbages, Russian kale, some Tom Thumb lettuce. And you can see, you know, I don't normally start lettuces inside, but I got a little excited about having a greenhouse. And this particular lettuce, this oak leaf lettuce, it'll sprout here, but then the pests get it immediately. So I'm just kind of growing it under protection in the greenhouse. I'm not 100% whether I'll actually move it outside. They're in pretty good pots for, you know, just an individual lettuce plant. So I might let them grow or put them out. But everything this year, you can see I'm really trying to grow things nice and big and hardy before I put them out. Normally, you know, my tomatoes are just maybe barely the size when I put them out, typically in a smaller pot. I'm going to actually let these guys grow to be nice and big and strong before I put them out this year, just to help with some of the pest pressure this time of year. We got ants, we have earwigs, all kinds of stuff that just loves to eat baby plants. So it's kind of the logic. Now that I have the greenhouse, I have the space to kind of pamper things a little bit more before I put them out. Maybe give them a little better chance, you know. Like, it's kind of tiring replacing the same plants over and over, you know. Last thing I'll show you is this is just a mesclun mix. I just have it in sort of a shallow tray, just sort of trialing doing things this way, so maybe I can get it to grow out and do sort of a cut and come again greenhouse setup. It's not doing that well, in my opinion. I think probably because the planter is a little shallow. So I think I'm probably going to take this whole thing and just slap it down in one of my garden beds and let them grow. And, I usually plant a row of mesclun mix seeds anyway, so it makes a lot of sense just to put this whole little mini row in place, and I'll probably plant some more seeds direct sow around it. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed looking at what I have going on. And if you find any of this stuff interesting, please like and subscribe. As soon as I'm up to 50 subscribers, I can get start doing some live streams, and there's some interesting topics I'd like to talk to you guys about. So, without further ado, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. This has been your buddy Ryan.